Hey everybody, fWhip here, and welcome on back to the hardcore Minecraft world. I'm so very excited to be back in here, getting everything going. We last episode built up this cool little greenhouse here where we can bring in some shears for ourselves, come over here and get some honeycomb, and we're going to be slowly moving towards building up a giant honey farm. Got 24 of them already, so that I believe is 8 farms that we can make for new areas for bees to live inside of. Today, my friends, we're going to be starting a massive new project, well, at least planning it out a little bit here, involving some custom mountains. But first and foremost, before we get to the custom mountains, we need a lot of blocks to do so I figured it was time that we set up a creeper farm. Or at least start setting up a creeper farm by digging the hole in the ground, which will be able to give us a lot of stone that we can use to then build said mountains back up in this area. I think it's gonna be so cool having these giant looming mountains above the tree line. I think it's gonna be amazing. I love our mega taiga that we live inside of, but the trees that we've been building are as tall, if not taller, than the actual mountain surrounding it. So I feel like we need to fix that one. Now, before we get into that one for the day, I just want to take a quick moment to slow down here, as things have been very hectic in life. I'm sure we've got the holiday season coming up. Things are a little crazy out there right now. So if y'all want to just take a quick moment with me, and we're going to do a quick little breathe in and breathe out. That was nice, right? Just taking a moment there, that was nice. Okay, I'm gonna get a few of my Minecraft chores done for the day here. We can relax a little bit further, just plant some seeds, harvest up our fields, get a few things going, store them all over there, and then, my friends, it's time that we get to the digging. I ran through the fields that I wanted to so far, and I figured it was time that we brought a few more pumpkins over for ourselves. Well, we have a lot of these things, and we need to do a little bit of emerald trading to repair up some pickaxes, because it's, right now it's a little rough. How did a pumpkin get in here? That does not make sense. There's an item filter on this thing. How are there more pumpkins in here? That's doing me a concern, everybody. It's doing me a concern. Thankfully, all we need to do nowadays for our levels is walk over here, make that trade, and that gives us a lot of experience. A lot of them also have a pumpkin trade as well, so we can get double off of this, and once we get a few emeralds, I can replenish my golden carrots and get crazy experience. And there we go, the last tools are repaired and ready to go. Let's throw our chest piece back on here, because I'm terrified of creeper explosions, and head on over to the mountains. Now, I don't want to claim to be a professional when it comes to making mob farms of any sorts, but thankfully I built a few creeper farms in my day, and I am friends with Logical Geek Boy, who is the genius behind all things creeper farming, and so we're going to try and put this thing inside of the mountains. I'm hoping we can find some cats over here, but after a little bit of research that I did, all we really need is an 11 by 11 square that's going to go way down underground. So I figured right now we could set that thing up and then get into time-lapse and of digging that place out. I'm thinking into the side of the mountain right here will be a great spot for it, because when we turn these mountains into custom mountains, I want to make them a little bit bigger. I want to make them more grand and just expansive and have some rolling hills coming off of them, instead of going mountain right down into Minecraft flat terrain, being like the hills and things that we're building on right now. Now, the reason we're building a creeper farm instead of just a full-on mob farm is because I feel like it'll create more projects in the future for more fun things for us to do. Right now, we don't really need a whole lot of bones, we don't really need rotten flesh, and I don't need any witch drops that I know of. So I figured a creeper farm will only give us gunpowder, and the other ones that we can work on later when we feel like we need that type of drop, we can figure out a way to get those very easily. Actually, zombie drops being rotten flesh, we already have that tackled with the piglin farm in the nether. Well, we've got to take all the way from there to here, really far down underground, and I don't think y'all want to sit here and watch me break the block like this the whole way. So folks, let's go ahead and kick this off in a good old-fashioned time-lapse mode and get a hole dug. Just real quickly here, as we're really close to each other, if you want to see this type of stuff happen, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/fWhip, link in the description. Okay, bye, time-lapse time. It has been about 9 days since I last recorded these clips and actually did the digging down here, because I was actually out on vacation for a little while. I spent some time over in Maui, Hawaii with my family, just hanging out at a family friend's place, sitting on the beach for a few days, and it was absolutely fantastic. But now I'm back ready to go, and I was just rewatching the video and have just so much craziness going on in life. And that really breathe slow thing that we were doing earlier in today's episode, wow, that was so helpful to re-listen to. But anyways, we've got a massive hole in the ground. Woo! After digging out the entire hole, came around here and found a bunch of cats, started breeding these guys up, and actually created a bunch of platforms down here with a heck of a lot of spruce trapdoors and the works down here. that are just bringing up all these different platforms. You can see way down there at the bottom, we have a bunch of magma blocks and the works, and this should hopefully be a functional creeper farm. All we got to do is put a top on top of it, and then we have to do the mob collection or drop collection system down at the base below the magma blocks. Out of digging the hole, we were also able to get 2 full shulker boxes of stone and a little bit more, and a bunch of random blocks over here, which is going to be really, really nice to be able to build with. I've spent just about enough time digging out a hole today that I really want to get into some building, and I think we got some wood in here, we got some cobblestone over in here, and I think I can grab a few extra bits so we can make something really cool. And I finally got all the feedback from all of the previous episodes that went live while I was out of town, as I previously mentioned. And it seems like a lot of people really enjoyed the building on camera. So I figured we would tackle that one again here today. Today, I would actually like to build up a blacksmith. I thought it'd be really fun to build a blacksmithing area right over in here. And I'm actually going to be throwing in a side area for it, which will eventually lead down to our giant storage room that I want to make. So we got to be smart where we position this one, because the tunnels for getting our villagers around from the villager breeder to there to over the other side are right underneath us. Like, there's my entrance into it, and there's the top of the cave. I feel like slowly I'm just going to be removing every single spruce tree in this area, and then after we build up the entire village and get some walls around it, we'll come back in and add a bunch of custom trees. Now, I thought as we have time to wait for all these leaves to decay, it was a good idea to bring in a little bit of dirt and start doing a bit of terraforming action. So I want to fill in this area first and foremost so that we can, hide it for now. We'll get another access way down to there. We're not doing any villager stuff right now, so I don't need to know exactly how to get into that thing. And then flattening out the area quite a bit is gonna help. It's going to help quite a lot. This build that I have in mind is actually kind of big. It's going to be a larger one. I want to make a few sections to it. As I mentioned, we have to have a place to store some villagers for blacksmiths, and I think this is going to be our toolsmiths. I want to make a bit of a castle structure, potentially up on a hill back in there, which will have our armor smiths and our weaponsmiths. With most of the leaves out of here, we can get into the building phase now, and I want to go with a fairly large structure and actually pretty stone based. We've only really used stone inside of the villager breeder, and I want to start tying that into the rest of these builds more, because this one, to be honest, looks a little out of place between the glass and the stone. So if we can at least bring some of the stone features into this new build, I think that'll help us out a lot for it. So what I was leaning towards is over in this area, we can have a large area where we can do some smithing. I want to give ourselves a purpose to come into this building outside of trading with villagers. So any sort of smithing needs that we have, I thought it'd be cool to kind of have a section in here for it. Then in here, we can have a big old chimney popping out for a big forge structure inside of this place. And then if we kind of close that end off right in there, that'll be really cool for like the main structure where we do our work. Then obviously we need to have a structure where the rest of the villagers are going to be stored. I'm not totally sold on using the cobblestone in here yet, but I think it'd be kind of fun to be able to mess with that, at least as a general idea. Then the way I wanted to get down into the massive storage room, which I hope will work. Let me check this real fast. No. That will 100% not work. My plan was to have a staircase leading down this way, kind of going up in that direction. But obviously, as you can see, that's where the tunnel is. New plan. Okay. I don't know. I think I'm still going to move forward with having something over here because I don't want to have this big flat face. So we can have a little bit of like a storage shed for ourselves instead. So that could kind of stretch out over here. And maybe we have a way to get in and out of it right in there. So that'd be pretty cool. This is kind of the base plan for ourselves. We've got our front doorway in here, which I thought we could add some extra depth to by bringing it out a block and then having this kind of come up. And we're going to have this be a fairly tall building. This is where we're going to really make this feel like the center of the village. I know we're kind of, this I guess here is going to be our village center, our town center by the end, because we can throw another structure in there and it'd be perfect. My plan is to have these buildings be attached so we can get a second floor on the forge building over here and then have 2 stories on this one, and the second story of this will lead into the second story of the forge. I know, very, very simple. For myself around doorways that I want to make look more fortified, I like to bring in a lot of stone brick for myself and just kind of do a little bit of a circle loop right over right there, and I think that'll be, and then one more above us will be as tall as this cobblestone's gonna go. Adding in a spruce slab floor up here so we can actually have some space to work with, I think that'll be pretty good. And then I was thinking over here we could extend these out a little bit and have them kind of sticking out, and we can have an awning almost for being able to walk around up here more easily, and that'd be super cool. And then what I wanted to do here was actually going to be out on these bits. We're going to have some fences sticking up, so we're going to have like fences here. And this will be an outside walkway, and then right in here is where we can actually start the structure, which then I think we're going to need to extend it out one going out the back too, otherwise it's going to look a little weird. This definitely is feeling a lot different compared to any style we've done so far in the village, but I think it's okay to branch out. After a while, I tend to personally get really bored of things that I'm doing, so I like to mix it up quite a bit. But I think if we bring those same features of the same styles and everything to this upper section here, I think it'll start to blend in really well with everything else. So if we kind of do something right along here like that, that'll be super cool. And I'm thinking out on this edge, we can add a giant bay window of sorts. So we can have a big window sticking out right in there. We'll get some glass for that soon. But in order to make that happen, all we gotta do is, nope, we can't do that. We're having a giant chimney coming up here. Scratch that idea, never mind. Maybe we can do that sticking out the backside over here. That could be kind of cool, right? Just need some glass to be able to make that one happen, but I think it's gonna look super cool down there. I'm planning to do the exact same roof design we've done everywhere else so far, so it's gonna be super simple to get it in here. Just gotta kind of get the blocks in place for now. And I think we're gonna trim the corners off these here, make it a little bit smoother going all the way up so it's a bit easier to keep in mind, and then we actually save some blocks as well. Outside of that, the build does look very wonky at this point in time, but I think wonky's okay. Wonky is something that we can still work with. It doesn't look bad quite yet, but it's something that we still gotta spend some time giving a little bit of love to. And the next step in adding love to this, of course, is going to be bringing in a roof for ourselves. And the way that I do the roofs up here is there's going to be stairs going all the way across this section, but that's going to leave all of the fences out here as well. So I think we can actually just extend some trapdoors out here, and that'll be a good way to kind of end the curve off very smoothly for covering this section. And with these final stairs, the roof is now in place. We got the slabs on top of it all the way around, and hopefully this looks pretty good. Again, still on that wonky feel, but it actually feels more like a house now. I've decided to leave this corner off and make it look just ugly for now on purpose, because we got to build up the second section of this building, being this guy right over here. So I got to bring the cobblestone up again, and I think the way I'm going to do this one is actually purposely leave it one lower. Now for the second structure that we're going to be working on here, I don't want to make it any wider than it already is, so we're going to have to add detail in different ways. A lot of times when people build structures going up, it's easy to add detail by just bringing it out when you want to add another floor to it, but I don't want to do that here. So what I'm thinking we could do is extend it out on just this side here, and that'll be able to add an extra bit of detail. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3. I think we're going to be using just some oak logs. So we're going to bring those all the way over here and just strip them going the entire way down. Then we can add some interesting bits with windows. Unfortunately, speaking of windows, I don't think the bay window over here is going to work because the wall is going to be going right along these lines. So we're going to remove that for now. We'll bring this in later. I love those, and I will find a place to use them later on. Then again, for more interest, so the walls aren't totally boring, we're going to have the stripped oak logs on the side, and actually to also save some resources, let's do some oak planks just here on the end bits. Then now we've got everything over here. I'm going to get some windows in, I'm going to get some more structured detail bits on here. I think I'm going to bring some stone brick into the corners. Just dotting in the corners right like that on whatever structure you're working on can actually make it look a lot more fortified, just simply on the corners. That's all you got to do. 2 blocks on each corner is going to make this thing look a lot better. Now for the front face of this roof over here, if we leave everything just kind of these flat lines like we have there, and then we have flat lines over here, it's going to be a little boring, and I don't think I'm going to like it too much. So I think we can plan to add in some extra windows of sorts up into the top of this one. Where are we lining up down below? I want to make sure we're not right. Let's go with this block right in here. I want to make sure we're not right above the doorway, because otherwise it looks a little awkward. So we can do a little bit of a window right in here, and then top it off with a spruce slab. We'll come back and throw glass pane in there eventually, but for now that'll help us out quite a bit. Then up here we can actually do another block right there, so it makes it look like this whole section is raised up. Thankfully, with these roofs being very perpendicular to each other, they are actually really easy to conjoin together, which is very nice. A lot of times I struggle with this portion. I know a lot of people struggle with it as well, and I'm just kind of throwing in blocks in here. But it doesn't look bad. It looks awkward for sure, but it doesn't look bad. It's okay when there's kind of all these little conjoining angles right there. And there we have it. Pretty much everything is in place. We've got to throw in a big old window right in there. We've got the doorway in below, and that's just kind of the final details phase of this whole thing, which I think will be a good one to work on. And I would like to bring a fence just along here so we can actually raise this whole platform up, and probably having it actually connecting almost all the way over to where this road is. We can expand that, and then we'll turn this all into like coarse dirt or something up here. I feel like could be a good way to go. That's the general structure there though that I have, folks, and I know we've been talking here for almost an hour at this point in time, and I think what I'm gonna do, get back over to the creeper farm, and then I'm gonna get back over here and finish detailing this one. So let's go finish up that creeper farm thing first. I have been one extremely busy person, and I forgot to record a clip to let you all know what's going on, but the creeper farm is fully finished, and I actually spent like an hour or so lighting up caves in the surrounding area. So down here, we've got the collection system, and it's working pretty well. I got a stack of rockets on me, got some more gunpowder in here. And coming all the way down to the base, I set up a little bit of a minecart hopper system, which you can see running all the way around there, which is basically going to go around the whole thing a few times, and then all the gunpowder ends up right down in there. That's not all that we've gotten so far. I made a fWhip is blasting off again. Shulker box here, which we got a bunch of stacks of rockets, so we can fly around a lot. Being in hardcore, though, I want to be extremely careful of that, because a creeper can still one-shot us, regardless of what our other enchants are, and I think regardless if we have netherite, if we have the elytra on. So unless I'm actively flying, I'm trying to keep my chest plate on me. But that, my friends, brings me back over to the point where I want to get building over on our blacksmith and actually finish up the forging area and do some more work detailing around the thing. And I think as we did a lot of first-person building on camera stuff earlier, let's go ahead and kick this up in a good old-fashioned time-lapse mode, round number 2, and build up the blacksmith. I did a wee bit of a dumb here and forgot to hit the record time-lapse button right away, so coming in here you can see a few windows were added on and started adding a few things in here like the coarse dirt floor, which is looking absolutely awesome. So slowed it down there for a bit just to show the front point, and I added birch leaves, some doors over to the forging area, and just did a bunch of texture variation around the entire structure. So instead of just cobblestone, we now have andesite and a little bit of gravel and mossy stone mixed in there. Added an extra chimney on top of this whole thing and just started adding a lot more life in here with a wagon for ourselves, carrying in some iron ore, a bunch of barrels around. Then come inside, I wanted to work on our forging area for ourselves. So we got a little bit of the Blacksmith Forge over there. We got a anvil down in this area, a bunch of barrels, smithing table, grindstone, cauldron. It's got the works inside of this forge area. I absolutely love this thing. We've got a tools thing on the wall over here, and it's very just homey. It's a good vibe inside of here, and I'm excited to use this for myself. But the area where we need to throw our toolsmiths is actually going to be back inside of here, which for now is going to be a little interesting getting these guys in this place because, well, we've got to dig ourselves down and then actually figure out a way to get up to a second floor, which I think for now I want to do the floor inside of here, at least just in some jungle planks. Wow, I guess that's cool to know that there's our staircase to get back down. We can maybe hook that up later to this. But for now, I want to focus on just getting some villagers inside of here. Now, as I'm not going to be using the toolsmiths too much inside of here until we get them fully leveled, I want to go to a little bit of a different concept for this. Instead of where we had before, it looks like it's nighttime as well, where we had everybody in like their little stalls. So we'd have like villager here, villager there. I want to let them free roam inside of this room. So I've hooked up this trap door. So even if the door breaks or the door is open, they'd have to be able to flip the trap door down and then they can get outside. That should keep them safe enough, I hope. And for now, until we decorate the area, we can just throw the 4 different smithing tables right over here. Quickly revealing this entrance back down below. What Y level are we on here? We are down at 56. Okay, that's good to know because I've started setting up a way for the villagers to be able to get up here. Obviously, we don't want them to be able to just walk through this thing going back down, so I believe if we have some trapdoors here, the villagers should be able to just go up that and over. But let's take ourselves all the way down this way to get to 56. I'm kind of just digging around in the dark at this point. I hope I'm a few blocks over. We were almost perfect. Man, I was 2 blocks off. I was saying I was just digging in the dark because I had no idea how I wanted to line this up. But thankfully, we've got this little villager over here I was able to listen to. I don't know where you're going to go, buddy. Maybe we just keep moving you off this direction a little bit further. Eventually, there'll be a chapel down that way, I think. I don't know. Maybe. All right, buddy. How's a nice, dark, spooky corner to sit in? I gave you a torch at least. You just go, yeah, you just stay right. It's perfect. You're doing a great job, sweetie. Now, if we just get all these rails in place, this hopefully should be enough to skyrocket them all the way up to the top. And if we close that down, that should still just send the villagers through. And one final little bit of a hookup right in here. And I think that should be enough on the powered rail front. We can go ahead and remove that guy for now and just start bringing this stuff back out. I'll fill that all in eventually, make it look nice and pretty. But for now, we just need to clear this area out. All right, all fixed up and ready to go. Send the villagers off that way and hopefully all the way up into the smithing room. I don't know what we need to trade with the toolsmiths to be able to level them up, but let's go ahead and at least send one down here to see. Clicking the button, hopefully we got a minecart, and we do, and our villager is headed off quickly down this way to meet his friend Jeremy. And our first toolsmith, what do you want, buddy? You want an emerald for a stone axe. Seriously? Seriously. Thankfully, we have thousands of emeralds at this point, and we're going to go with the all-powerful stone hoe here. Let's see how many hoes do we have to buy to level you up. 10. We had to buy 10 stone hoes off of. Now what do you got? You want iron for gold? That's not too bad, but 32 emeralds for a single bell? Are you kidding me? And now I just want to know, if we convert him, can we get 1 emerald for a bell? All right, Jeremy, come on up and do your thing there, buddy. I'm sorry. Your prices are too much. It's your fault, not mine. And now he's holding one of his hoes that I just bought off of him. All right, there we go. He's converting back and forth, and we got to sit here for a few minutes. Instead of waiting for that, I'll just level him the rest of the way as we move him up there all the way. Hopefully he goes all the way to the new home. Well, he's no longer in this tunnel, so it looks like he made it. All right, our first buddy's gonna sit all the way up here. Now we just gotta bring 3 more of them up, and hopefully we will be able to just trap them all up there. The problem is we're gonna have to space them out enough so that the new ones don't move up as zombie villagers and then just eat the old ones. So we're gonna have to leave them all in minecarts for now. It's really annoying trying to remember what time villagers can trade and why they're not changing their job roles, so I decided to bring a clock down here and just smack it up there on the wall, and looks like we can actually sleep now, I think. Not yet. Trading hours are definitely over, but we can't sleep yet. Bummer. Also, it might help if I realized I was literally trying to sleep 2 blocks above a zombie. Yep, that probably did it. Just ran out of splash potions of weaknesses and running into one of those, like, this is that happy moment where everything's starting to come together for me that I did not realize is that as we finish the creeper farm, we now have the ability to make a bunch more splash potions. For me, since I've never really done this whole villager trading thing, I never really think about how useful potions are. So we can take the fermented spider. I brewed that down into the water bottles here, which will give us potions of weakness, and then we just need to take 1 gunpowder and throw that on top afterwards. And with the satisfying sound of a potion brewing finishing, we've got 3 more potions. I do feel quite bad for this villager, as he has to watch his friend over here being converted back into a villager as well, but he's probably like, please don't bite me, sir, just stay over there and do your little shaky vibing thing. And with that, we now have 4 villagers sitting up here, and I think I gotta leave these guys for a few before I let them all loose, otherwise it could be a bad time for these 2 over here, but that is pretty awesome. Now it looks like all we need to do is trade iron with them, or a bunch of emeralds and get a bunch of bells. The bells are quite tempting here, but the iron actually gives more experience. I wanna see if I can at least cap out one of these guys, so let's go get some more. I'm already pretty quickly working through the supply of iron that Joel gave me. We're already under a stack of blocks of iron, which kind of sucks because I'm not getting too much of it as we're going. Unless I go mining, I'm really not getting much iron. If you have an iron farm though, this is a great source of emeralds. So cheap, so incredibly cheap. Oh, we have a diamond hoe for 1 emerald. Wait, I want a lot of these, please. Am I gonna do anything with them? No, but I want them. Efficiency 3 iron pickaxe, that could be pretty good if you're just getting started out, but we also got flint for emeralds, which is kind of rough to get. And of course, diamond, 1 diamond for 1 emerald, totally worth it. And then down here we have 1 emerald can give you an efficiency 2 diamond shovel, so you could do that for that, and then that for that, and just forget the sticks and the enchanting. Not too bad. I don't really know what I was looking for in these guys. I've just never actually traded with this villager profession before, and I thought it'd be kind of fun. Looks like down here we have some diamond tools as well, which is pretty sweet. Not getting any super tools, but I mean, these are 1 emerald for a diamond tool. That's really overpowered if you don't want to go mining at all. You can get full diamond gear pretty much just by trading with villagers. And there we go, the Silk Touch diamond pickaxe. What more could I ask for? Oh man, that is perfect. The last guy's converted now, so we can go ahead and pop all of them out of their minecarts, and we should be able to just let them roam free. I don't think they're gonna try and leave. No. Come on, guys, stay inside. Excuse me, there is literally a zombie right in front of you. Why are you guys trying to run toward it? Do you have a death wish? I just cured you. Why do you want to go back to being a zombie? Now, how do I get out of here if you guys are trying to do that? I guess I have to escape down this way. Well, everybody is maxed out now, and the best thing we found here was that Silk Touch pickaxe, which is pretty awesome. But folks, that's what we're going to be calling it quits for today's episode. Thank you all so very much for watching. Click that like button down below if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are brand new. And my friends, I will catch you on the flip side.